We just watched the men's 400-meter dash finals at the Paris Olympics, and Quincy Hall just proved PRs don't matter, favorites don't matter. Even coming into the last 105th place does not matter. If you want something bad enough, you will go get it. And that's exactly what he did in his 400-meter final. What's good, everybody? It's the GOAT Aaron Brown. And before this video starts, be sure to subscribe to my channel and also follow me on Instagram. It's linked down below in the description. Let's jump straight into it. So a dog, a person who really has it in them, who really wanted it, despite people being more talented, despite people being faster, Quincy Hall just showed up to the Olympic final and showed that if you want something, you can go get it. He came in with the second fastest time in the world, 43.8. And a lot of people were saying, oh, Matthew Hudson Smith the win, and because he has the world leading time. But I say all the time, usually the person who enters with the fastest time into championships, especially if you aren't super dominant, typically don't win. And Quincy Hall came off that curve in a 400-meter final and showed that he's not a Chihuahua. He's an English bulldog, because with 80 meters to go in a race, he was in 5th place and somehow found his way all the way to first within about 75 meters. He ran his last 100 in 11.6 seconds slide, and one of the fastest close ever in the 400 meters. Now, of course, the great Butch Reynolds has the fastest close with 11.2 the last 100 in the 400. But what Quincy Hall just did is cement himself into history by also running one of the fastest times ever in a 400 meter. That's like a top 6 time ever. 43.4 is very spectacular. He knocked off 0.4 off his PR. And if you look at this picture on the screen, and if you even just pay attention to my predictions, I said Michael Norman, despite him having more talent and more foot speed than everybody in this race, I don't ever see him even getting close to a medal because he simply doesn't have that dog in him. Whatever he's done in the past, clearly he's complacent with it, and he just doesn't have it in him. There's no dog in him. There's no fight on Michael Norman. If somebody else wants it, he'd damn near volunteer and just give it up. So I hope a guy like Michael Norman stays away from prison and things of those natures, because he have a very, very rough time, because I feel like people are going to take the things that he have, and majority of times they aren't going to have to take it. He's just going to give it to him. But this is no video about Michael Norman. This is about the GOAT of American 400-meter running, Quincy Hall. He showed up, showed out, and showed that no matter what people say, no matter what people predict, no matter what people have in their mind, no matter how you look, no matter the image that you have, if you want something, you can go achieve that. And it's just that simple. Also, shout out to Chris Bailey, too. He didn't perform that well, but he was in a super duper tight inside lane, and he did pretty decent. But that's just a story of how fast this 400-meter dash actually was. There was 5 guys who broke 44 seconds. 43 did not get a medal in this race. This is the first time in history a guy has ran 43 seconds in the Olympic final and not medaled. And it was crazy because earlier today, Fred Curley made a tweet. He said 43 not getting a medal. I thought he was saying that people were going to run 42 and the person who runs 43 isn't going to get a medal. But turns out that the guy who runs 4th and 5th will probably run 43. And that's simply insane to think about. You couldn't have paid me to think that going into this Olympics, 5 guys were going to run 43 in the final. Like, that's just unheard of. And that just goes to show how fast this track is. They say they built this track 2% faster than the last Olympic track, and it has shown improved up to this point. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the Olympic champion Quincy Hall in a 400-meter dash.